Rita with Stampin' Up from Ohio, and I am here to bring you my Tuesday video. Today we're doing a fun fold. It's going to be another Halloween card, but it would be a great card to make in for any occasion with any stamps and that. So I hope that you make it and stuff, and it is a really cute card. But first of all, I want to tell you that Stampin' Up started their sale today of their in color sale. So of the 2025, 2027, I think it is the newest in colors. Um, so anything to do with the newest in colors is on sale for 15% off. You can do that. If you live in Ohio or one of the other states that has tax free right now, there's a lot of items that you can get at Stampin' Up tax free. Some of those items are Stampin' Dimensionals, glue, markers. There's a bunch. Let me see. I got it right here. The stamp and seal, foam adhesive strips, foam adhesive sheets themselves, mini glue dots, multi-purpose glue, the grid paper, tear and tape, all the Stampin' Right markers, watercolor pencils. So you can get a lot, blender pens, you can get a lot of stuff, you know, if you're in a state that pays tax and is right now at the tax-free that they offer. You'll want to make sure that that's going on in your state right now, because not all of them do them at the same time. I know Tennessee's is over, Virginia's is over, Missouri's is over, Arkansas's over, and Alabama's over. So those states don't have it right now. Florida has it till August 11th. Maine has it to, or Massachusetts, I mean, has it to August 11th. New Mexico till the 6th, Ohio till the 8th, Puerto Rico till the 13th, South Carolina, no, they're done, Tennessee's done, Texas to the 11th, and West Virginia ends today. So there is the tax information as far as being tax-free. So I'm going to turn you down and remind you that if you don't have a demonstrator, I would love to be that demonstrator. Love for you to order from me. That would be great. And I'm changing my monitor over, so I sidetrack myself. That's crazy. So anyway, I would love that. If you'd like to join Stampin' Up, I'd love for you to be on my team. That would be great. So anyway, I am going to putting the video up to where I can see it. But it's just scrolling. There we go. There we go. I think we're in good shape now. Alrighty then. So let's turn the camera down and let you see my big finger get in the way. It turned it. Okay, let's go down. And let's bring the camera in just a little bit so that you can see the card, which is right here. It's called a squeeze box card. I'm not the first one to do this. Susan Campfield has done it, and another lady, and I just cannot think of her name. I think her last name is Ondas or something like that. Let me check. I have it. Maybe I do. Kathy Ondas is her name. I know she's done it and that, so you could see different cards done with it if you needed to do that. So anyway, but right now I am going to do Halloween, and this is the front, and then you just open it like this. They call it a squeeze box because it's got the accordion. You know how accordions go in and out. I never played an accordion. I had a friend that did, though. But anyway, that's our card, and that's how it goes. So let me get out all the stuff. I also have the PDF that is over on my Facebook group called Stamp Crazy VIP. List everything, how you cut the papers, list everything, and has directions to it. You can pop over there and get this for free. I put all of my videos over there. You just have to join the group. I'd love for you to join. And if you join for no other reason but to get the PDFs, I totally understand. So, but that's where I have all of them right now. So, jump on over there and get that if you need it. So let me get out the stuff here that goes together. Let's pour everything out. There we go. I think we got it. So we're going to set our envelope to the side. And then we're going to get our pieces. We're going to be using, this is the cauldron. And the little, I call it the bubbles. But that is out of the paper pack. There's some dies in there, and that's what that is from. So we're going to be using that. And this is for our saying that's on the front. This is two, let me, oh my gosh. 2 5/8 by 1 1/4. This is 2 1/2 by 1 1/8. All the measurements are on that. This is 1 by 5 1/2, and it is embossed with the Waves embossing folder. We have a piece that is 4 3/4 by 11, scored at 2 3/4, 5 1/2, and 8 1/4, and I already have that done for you. This piece is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. It is our back of our card. This is 1 3/4 by 3, and this is the front of our card. And then these are the insides of our card, and these are 2 1/2 by 4 1/2, and these are 2 3/8 by 4 3/8. So there's what that is. That's all of our paper measurements, okay? All of that is on my PDF, or you can watch this again and then be able to see them. But first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to build our card front. This is our card back. We want these two pieces to be put together that will match this perfectly, okay? So I gotta cut a smidgen off of this one, it looks like, so let me do that real quick. Hope that helps it. So we have that. So what we're going to do, the first thing, the easiest way to do this is take you some, I'm using the removable labeling tape from Post-it. It's 2 inches wide. You can just take a regular Post-it note if that's all you have, but I am going to be using this. So what I do is I put that together, make sure that it's even. And I'm going to put this on, but I'm not going to put it real close up there because I'm going to glue my front on there. I'm just going to put that on there to hold it. See how that holds? And then this is going to be put right here on the front of that. Now you can use any kind of adhesive that you want. I like to use tear and tape for this part, just because it's fast. You could actually already have that put on there. Let's open that up. And just run that down that line. So there we go. We have some tear and tape on there. And that will really hold that really good. That you want that to stay on. So let's press that down really good. And then we're going to take our, not our pin, but we're going to take our pick tool and pull that off. Okay, now we're going to close that back up. And we're going to take and we're going to line this up. And I'm going to line it up like so. Then I'm going to put that down. So now we have, as we untape this, I like this tape because it does not even, I think it doesn't leave a mark like washi tape. So now we have our card front and our card back, and they should match pretty good. If they don't, when I get to a point here, I will trim it off if something doesn't match. So what we're going to do with our card front here, we're going to add our piece of 1 inch by 5.5 inch that's been embossed with the Waves embossing folder. I just stuck pieces in there and did this. And then I'm going to just glue that onto this front, just to give that front just a little bit more of a dimension and look to it than to leave everything so flat looking. So, but I'm going to make sure I put plenty of glue, but I'm putting it on here very lightly because of all of the dimension and the embossing folder itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line that up, and I'm lining everything up at the top. So if I trim anything, I'm just going to trim on one end, and it'll be the bottom. And that one to stick to my finger. So I have glue on my finger. That's okay, I'll get it off. I got my little chamois thing here. So there we go. We got that made. All right, so that is our front. So now what we're going to do, we have our front and our back. We're going to take our piece that has been scored. Again, it's 4 3/4 by 11, scored at 2 3/4, 5.5, and 8 1/4. And what we want here is we want it to look like that. So what I do first, so I can line it up, is I put my mountain fold, which is this, because it's up over the mountain. And I make sure that my card base is squared. And then I take a scoring tool. I use pot scrubbers. I like them. They got a nice handle on them. And then what I'm going to do is make valley folds, because this goes down like that. So I'm going to match that to the side. I'm going to come to the other side, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. So it looks like a little booklet at the moment. So, okay, now when we open that, it will go like this. Can you see that? Actually, it looks like a V in the center. Alrighty, and you want this fold to be to the right side. When we turn, we're going to turn this over, and we're going to put it on here first, on the back on the back side of the front of the card. So you want your fold to be on your right side. And I like to kind of just center it in there, and it goes all the way to the bottom. So you want to center that as straight as you can. And what I do now is I take that little Post-it note piece again, and I just lay it right here next to where that is. So that gives me an idea, because I want to bring it back up, and I'm going to add, instead of using my tear and tape, I'm going to use my Stamp and Seal. So let me get it going. So I'm just going to give this good coverage on the back. Helps if I keep this on the glass mat to do this. So as you can see, I'm just covering all that. And I'm going to put a little bit up the front there. Okay. So we have that covered. Now I know that I'm going to line this up at the bottom and be in the vicinity of that Post-it note. And I can lay it down and pull my Post-it note up. So that's what that is good for. I like it for that. So we have that done. I'm going to just do that. Now we're going to put that on the back. And how we're going to put that on the back is the same way. We're going to just add some And you can use your your Tombow tape runner. You can use your green glue. You can use that doesn't want to run no more. You can use tear and tape. You can use anything. Just so you use a good adhesive to get that on there. That's all that really matters. So we're done with that. So we're going to have our card. I'm making sure it opens the right way. Because once this is on here, it's on here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to line this up at my top and my side over there. Put that down. And then you just want to make, and if it doesn't line up, and I always trim my bottom piece because that seems to be where the bulk of everything is, and I want that to be good and straight. And there we go. That looks good. There we go. We got that. So now what we've got here, I told you about this. It's going to go on the front. Now let's open this up. I'm going to lay it up here so that you can see it. We have a piece that's 2.5 by 4.5 that'll go here and here. We're going to stamp on those. Then we have these that are 2 3/8 by 4 3/8. That's going to go in the center. And we are going to stamp some words in that on there and then put the die cuts on. So I am going to try to leave these to where we can see it. Maybe if I move my camera up just a hair, and then you can see the card we're working on and the card that's done. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to move all that up. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take a piece of scrap paper. And I'm going to take my white pieces, these two, and this one. And I'm going to use a blending brush, and I'm going to use the Memento Black ink, and I'm going to ink my blending brush. I'm just going to ink that. Come onto this. And just get off the bulk of that. And then I'm just going to kind of add that to my and if you have to pick up more, you just pick up more and go on. And you can make it as dark or as light as you want. And I'm going to do this to all 3 of these pieces. So there's one. This will be the next one. I just think that softened that white against that black to do these edges. So now we have the one that goes over here. And then this is our front, and I'm not going to ink that. I'm just going to try to use what's in the brush. Having to press hard though, because there's not much left in that brush. So there we go. We have that one inked also. And what we're going to do while we got the ink pads out, we're going to do a little bit of stamping. Let's stamp our words on here first. We got, as soon as I find it, here it is right in front of me. Happy Halloween. And I'm using Memento Black for all of this. And I'm going to stamp that right here on this little Just hold that down, let it soak into the paper. So there's Happy Halloween. And I'm only making one card today because this one has so many steps to it. So I thought I would do that. We're going to bring in our word spooky. And we're going to stamp that right here. I'll stamp it down a little bit. So we got spooky on there because it's a spooky Halloween, I guess. And then we're going to take our little bats. And we're going to stamp some bats. There's some bats on there. We're going to stamp a couple bats on here. So let's just do that. Just going to put this big bat over here. So we have that. And we have our spooky done. Now let's go to here and stamp some bats. Just add some bats there, and this one gets some bats on it also. So let's go ahead and add some on here. And what we're going to do, and I forgot, we're going to take our envelope while we've got all this out. And I think I'm going to have to add some more ink on this. I'm going to take on this side, and I'm just going to rub some of this black out. Like so. And then I think we are done. Whoops. We are done adding all that. Now we're going to add some bats to this. And that way we're decorating an envelope. Something I always forget. Do you guys like to decorate envelopes? I wish I did. I like to. I wish I remembered to. So there we go. We have some bats on our envelope. So we decorated our envelope. We have everything stamped that we need stamped. So now we're going to put everything together. So let's lay this off over here. We don't need it anymore. We do have our words to stamp. We have these words, don't worry, eat sweets. That is a big long stamp. It's one word, don't worry, eat sweets. And all of this came out of the stamp set, Spooky Halloween. And the dies that I cut came out of Spooky Halloween dies, which is the house and the bats. But you have a fence, a broom, little pumpkin baskets, the cat and the dog, and then this is a tag. It doesn't cut the tag out. It's just an embossed tag that you can use. So anyway, that is what I used. I actually have on my directions that I used Fright Night also, but I ended up not doing that. But anyway, I wanted to show you what we used before we start getting all this stuff put together. Let's take these back and put our words on. I want to show you something, and you might know, and you might not know. So you might learn something, and you might not. So I'm going to take the words, don't worry. That's what I want on this first one. So I'm going to stamp that, but it's hard to stamp just one piece of that without getting on the other. So what you do is I take that piece of Post-it note I had again, and I go over the don't worry, and I just let it kind of be on my acrylic block, and then I just stamp don't worry. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that off. I'm going to stamp eat sweets. I'm going to put this back on. And I'm going to put eat sweets down here. And then we don't have to use that anymore. And you put that on there so that you don't get ink. Like if you got a little bit of ink on the words you didn't want and it would show up on there, you don't want all that to happen, or any shadows. So that's what we did. So let's put these together. Before we start, let's go to the front. And with our front, and see that's not going to stay closed now because we've opened it so much. So I just take and kind of, but it stays closed really good once you get it all done and you press it again. So we're going to take our Happy Halloween and we're going to just glue that to the front of the piece of pumpkin pie. And then we're going to take that pumpkin pie piece and we're going to use dimensionals. And we're going to add that to the front of our card. And then at the very end, we will add our embellishments everywhere. Okay. So that'll be really, I put 5 on here. I want it to really stay on that front because, you know, sometimes when people get one of these fun folds, they like to open and shut it a lot. So let's go ahead and just stick that. I want it down here. There we go. So we have that done. Now let's open this, and we'll do this in order that it goes, which will be, these two will be first. I am going to take just my cauldron that I got the die cuts out of the paper pack. And the paper pack is so cute. I'll show you that before we leave here today. And let you see. You get a lot of die cuts that you can use just on your cards if you don't want to stamp. You want to make some quick cards, Halloween cards. This is what you do. So he's on there, so let's go ahead and glue him in. Or actually, you know what? The banner that I have on that card right here, the dies, let me show you the dies. I'm going to have to pick out a different die because, let me show you. These are the papers. I showed them in my video the other day, but I didn't really, but I used, you get 2 sets, and I've already made 2 Halloween cards, so I've used my banner up. So let's take on this. What if we take one of the brooms, and we'll just put the broom right there, and that way you have plenty of room at the top to write. So let's just take and put this right here. So there we go. But these are all of the die cuts that you have, so you have lots of them. They're cute. Let's put them back in the thing, or I'll lose them all. I just had a piece of paper fall on the floor. But you do get these die cuts in with the paper pack. So, but you have all kinds of paper in here. I'll just pull it out and show you real quick. This is what we're using. The other side has little Halloween characters. This one has black and orange. These are where you can cut these out for 5 1/4 by 4-inch cards and just use them as your card front. They have the Petunia Pop. Here's the piece of DSP that's patterned. Here is the windows that we're using with the orange white. These are banners and that you can cut out. And that has a gray on the back. So that is the papers. Okay, back to the card. Now that you saw those, and we had to change this up a little bit, didn't we? But never fear, we're good. I forgot I used, that I only had 2 banners and I used them both. So let's just, you can always change things up. So there's that. Now on this one, I've already die cut the house. And if I wasn't putting this on orange, I would back this, you know, because I don't like it on white. I would back it with an orange or a yellow. But we don't have to do that today. I made it easy. And I did that intentionally. Because I don't like to take all of your time by having to glue so much stuff together. So we're just going to glue this on. And then I'm going to add it. I'm going to add it right here. Okay, and then on this one, I just cut out some of the bats. And we're going to use 3 of them. I'll save those for another card. I already have them cut out. That's great. We'll bring this in. I don't need this nasty piece of scrap paper. Let's hide him in under my mat so I can use him later. Use him until he's real dirty. So we're going to bring this in, and I'm just going to put glue in the center of his body. And add him to my card. Not really caring. I know the vicinity I want to go, but if it's not perfect, it's okay too. Cards aren't always made to be perfect, right? We can do things differently all the time. That's what's nice about handmade cards. And now we'll glue this on. If anybody's watching this live, if you don't mind putting in the chat, just say hey and tell me where you're from if you're not from around here. Or if you are from around here and I don't know you, just introduce yourself. I would love to get to know you. Okay, there we go. Now what we're going to do is we are going to add some of these. They're called Shimmer Star Foam stickers. They're little stickers made out of foam, so they smash easy, which is nice to use on this card. Oh, well, it's nice to have you from Kentucky. You're just my little neighboring state. I love to go to Kentucky. I have to admit, though, we kind of like to go to Tennessee, too. My husband loves the outdoors and stuff. So what I'm going to do, we're going to start at the front because we're going to put some embellishments everywhere on this card. I just think it needs it. They're little, they're subtle, so we don't have to worry about them. And you can use any size on here. You can mix them up, which is what I'm going to do. I'm actually using the larger ones on the front here. So there's just some little stars that just shimmer and shine. Shimmer and shine. So let's add some everywhere. And like I said, just pick out some and go for it. They don't have to all match in size. They don't have to, yeah, let's go down here with one. There we go. I used a lot of stars making these cards, but it's been fun. They're worthy. They're star worthy. I like these foam ones. They're easy to pick up with this little tool. I'm not using the putty side because of the glitter and the foam. I was afraid it might not pick it up well. So I just... Oh. I got one on my finger. Don't need that. Let's try to put him back. Well, he wants to stick to me. There he goes. So anyway, let's put this one. Oh, let's not put it there. We want people to be able to write. Let's put him over here. There we go. So there is our card. Hi, Jackie. How are you? I did a Halloween card. It's called a Squeeze Box Fold, if you weren't here at the very beginning. And the reason being is because it opens like an accordion. So if you ever played the accordion, you know. But I am not the designer of the fold of this card. I saw it on a couple different sites. I saw Susan Campfield did it, and so did Kathy Ondas. They both have videos on it and show other ways to do it. I just did a Halloween card for right now. But I think we all did this part all the same. But anyway, this will lay flat. It'll stand up when you send it to somebody. It can be displayed, you know, to where you can see all of it. And we decorated our envelope, and it goes very easily into an envelope, like so. And great to use. Well, hi, Brenda, or Barbara, Brenda, from Indiana. So I have neighboring states, and then we have Canada. I mean, not Canada, Florida. Why did I say Canada? Jackie lives in Florida. And I don't know your first name for Kinser Crafts. That's in Kentucky. And then Barbara is in Indiana. I'm in Ohio. So I actually am in the tri-state of Kentucky, Indiana, and Ohio, because southwest corner, I can be in Indiana in like 20 minutes. I can be in Kentucky in about 30 minutes. So they're not far away from me. So that's it for my card today, guys. Remember that the end color sale is going on. 15% off. If you are a demonstrator, remember that today is pre-order day for the new mini catalog that'll be out in September, and also the new online exclusives that will be out in September. That's a perk of being a demonstrator. So I want to tell you that. And if you're not a demonstrator and would like to do that, I'd be more than happy to talk to you with that and have you join my team. If you don't have a demonstrator, I'd love for you to order from me. You know, it's not why I do these. I do these because I love to teach and I love to make cards. So, okay, Yvonne, you're originally from Columbus. Okay. That's a little further away from me. But yeah, in fact, my upline lives in the Columbus area. So I know that my mother used to live up in Columbus for a good while. So good place to live. So anyway, guys, there's my card. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you come back. I don't have a specific time on Tuesdays yet. I'm trying to think it's going to be more around 11 o'clock or so that I can get it in and be done. So anyway, on Saturdays, if you don't know, I do a Simply Saturday video. It's on at 10:30 every Saturday morning on YouTube and on my Facebook group and my Facebook page. They are geared simple, and in fact, I'll show you, I did a Halloween card for it last week, and it was just this one where I used the pattern paper, I used the bats, and then on the inside I used the bats. So one of my little dots just came off. His little sticky didn't, but the dot did. But anyway, I did that. And then this I did for a swap. And this is our glimmer paper, our in color, last year's in colors. They're still available. That is our glitter paper for that, glimmer paper for that. And then I stamped the little cat, because I have a cat. I stamped the cat here and colored it with Stampin' Blends. Did the Happy Halloween, and then the bat dies, and then when you open it, we have little bats in there and a little bit of color in there for it to be seen. So anyway, that is the cards, but these type of cards, this quicker cards, are what's on my Saturday afternoon. Tuesdays can be anything. And today was a fun fold. And this is actually fun fold. You'll see the number 92 behind the description. And that's because I have done 92 Facebook Live fun folds. Probably more than that, because once I started counting them. But yeah, this was number 92 for that. So anyway, you guys have a great day. Have a great week. Be blessed. Be creative. And go over and join my Facebook group if you don't belong to it. It's Stamp Crazy VIP. You can pull my PDFs off of there. They are everywhere. There's close to 300 PDFs on there right now. So you can go get PDFs of all kinds of cards. So anyway, I will let you go. And again, have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Bye.